What's happening? The clock is on and we is live. But to the dirt. I left something. To the dirt. To the dirt. So if y'all don't know by now, Dirty has a new location. So let me share this with y'all first. I'm not endorsing. This is not a commercial or nothing. But I'm gonna say, if y'all have never had cheese pork skins, y'all gonna have to thank me later. Because I promise you, these cheese pork skins is handling. So I'm gonna do something I ain't never done. Drina did it once. She snuck and blew up the room one time. But I ain't never smoked in my little man cave room. So we're gonna get to it after I commence to smoking. And I'm gonna tell you a story. Actually, it's not a story. It's more of a subject. If it's 7 of y'all in here, hit that like. D Shep, what's happening? Who know about these? D Shep, what's happening, man? So first off, let's get to it, man. I was turned on the news. Matter of fact, Nate Dogg 916 sent me the link, as well as Earn Moore in Carolina. First thing they say is that two COs in Old Folsom done sexual lascivious acts. So the thing that we kind of forget being inmates sometimes is that these COs is like humans. They humans just like us. So I don't give a fuck what they did to get to that point in their career where they are CO. Scottie Pippen, that's random. Scottie Pippen. I don't care what they did to get to be a CO. They be having past. They be having sadistic habits as well as emotional issues. That's kind of why COs, they want to get you young. Like I promise you, you don't even got to go to college to be a CO. That opens the door for COs to become COs fresh out of high school. Fresh out of high school, a CO can become a CO. Just go through this little academy because they want you young. They want you before contamination happens. And contamination happens like during, let's say, you're in college, you meet these different groups and they try to put stuff in your head. COs want you before that because they want you to uphold the law the way they see fit. But the problem is they don't always catch them in time. They don't catch them in time. the LA Sheriff's Department I promise you. The LA Sheriff Department got gang members. See, gangbanging starts young. That starts younger. That starts younger before a lot of other shit, especially in LA. So by the time they become eligible to become a LA sheriffs, they can't just unwrite the fact that they was a Southsider when they was in their teenage years, or they was a Blood or a Crip in their teenage years. They can't unwrite that. So they take an oath, but they still took an oath before that. And that's why you see LA sheriffs that are gang members, allegedly. Whether they're using it for a front or using it because that's who they really is. I seen LA sheriffs throwing up. I seen LA sheriffs twisting their fingers and throwing it up in a real way. I seen LA sheriffs shoot fair ones too. So there was 2 COs in Old Folsom. No, one is in New Folsom, and one was in Old Folsom. The one that was in Old Folsom, I know him. His last name is Solem, CO Solem. Bald-headed, blue-eyed CO. He was cool, and I'm going to be honest. I can't think of no bad interactions with Solem like that. I can't. But shit, like I say, they got their dark sides. But check me out, though. That's not the first time that this has happened. And if this does turn out the way that, okay, I just remembered his name, Sergeant Long. Sergeant Long in Old Folsom, right? He was doing the same thing, got caught with child porn and everything. Sergeant Long, he looked like an old Italian mafia motherfucker with slick back hair and all that. The moment them allegations came, Sergeant Long went home and blew his motherfucking brains out in his driveway. This is at Old Folsom. So Solem ain't the first one. Like he ain't the first one. Like Old Folsom in general. Let me describe Old Folsom to y'all. Let me describe Old Folsom. Old Folsom is what is called a good old boys prison. A good old boys prison. The first thing they tell you when you get to Old Folsom, right? Well, when I got there in the 2000s, is that there is CDC rules and then there's Old Folsom rules. That's the first thing they told me. Just in case I had any intentions on getting it fucked up. People don't know that in order to be a cop, you got to score less on the Wonderlic test than you do to become a real estate agent. I have no idea. Shoot that shit, Shep. Shoot that shit. But in Old Folsom, right, like you literally get a little bit of, you got everything. That Old Folsom is an everything prison. You got wildlife. What kind of wildlife? Every kind. Even got cats in that prison. You got cats, hawks, vultures. We didn't came out the building and seen a falcon, a hawk, falcon, whatever, tearing into a pigeon. Talking about the whole yard watching this hawk with his foot on this pigeon, ripping, eating them from the back of the neck down. You got everything. As well as you got COs that is corrupt, COs that's with the movement, free staffs that's with the movement. And every so often you get a free staff that come in that just be plumb crazy. Plumb crazy. There was an MTA nurse that came in, and I promise you, she was so loose. She was so loose that one time I was in there in the little shepherd. I mean, not the shepherd, excuse me. In the little cubicle thing that they have built in one building. And it's hella small. She was so loose, inmates used to be on the second tier looking in, and she used to just be looking at them, wiggling at them, everything. And one time I came in there and the doctor told me, tell your friends she's not going to be here long because they're messing it up for everybody. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Soon as I went to leave, right? I went to leave. The area between where she was standing and this was probably about this big. She really stuck it out to where I don't see no reason why I would turn the other way and say, excuse me. So I turned the right way and said, excuse me. And she wanted all contact. That's how loose they was. There was a, man, look, there's a such thing called walked off. She was walked off, as well as hella other MTAs was walked off, as well as COs was walked off in Old Folsom, especially in the 2000s, because it was money to be made. It was money to be made. So if you think of the CO salary, they're probably making anywhere between 65 to 80,000 for a regular CO. So a person that come from the hood with no education, with no motherfucking college degree, that's not bad. That's not bad. Really, what they should have been doing is giving them counseling and therapy to go along with being the CO. Because in 20 years, I've seen a lot of COs with issues, personal issues. And the way you separate these COs is you got your COs that come in to do their 8 and hit the gate. That means they come into work until they go home. Then you got some that feel like they're not a cop until they get to work. And then they become a cop. And like that's their tweak. That's what drives them to be a cop. Catch inmates with phones, catch inmates with drugs, try to think like an inmate and gather intel. And then that's what they feel like they're doing because they're not getting the accolades they want on the streets. So they come to the prison and make your job, make the time that you're doing harder. So Solemn, I could say Solemn was kind of he had just turned lieutenant allegedly. I hadn't seen him since 2018. But I guess he turned lieutenant finally. But he was one of them COs that looked like an asshole, but really wasn't. But best believe he was there when Long blew his brains out and watched a lot of other police get walked off for the same thing. Now, I can't speak on New Folsom, which is where CO Ledwig, whatever the other guy's name was. I can't speak on it. I wasn't in New Folsom. But Old Folsom, I definitely knew CO Solemn. Definitely. So here's the thing. It ain't just Old Folsom, no. There's COs that got issues all over the world. But there's COs that definitely got issues in CDC. And I could say like you got CO. I've seen COs, I didn't see it, but heard about it. COs blowing their brains out in the tower where they working at, in the watchtower. I didn't heard of COs get off of work and go kill their girlfriend and their family. Especially that happened more than once in Salinas Valley. I had a CO, matter of fact, if y'all remember the story with Pink Booty CO, I'm talking about the CO that called me and my cellie out and told us, come on, let's go. And tried to fight me and my cellie. CO Reader, his ass got caught with a petty theft and made the news. A petty theft being a CO got fucked up. I done seen COs get pregnant by an inmate. I done seen some shit. I done seen a CO snort a line on the job. We used to have a CO came to the door and was like, knock on the door, be like 1 a.m. He'd come to the door. Hey, you got some of that? You got some smut books? This is CO coming to look at my smut books. And I had so much of a variety. I'd be like, shit, what you want today? What you want? Asian, black, white? What you want? I got you. Hey, D-Shep. but it was a brothers. It was more. It was a few different COs, but the homie, I ain't gonna say his name because he's a CO, but he knew all the homies. That motherfucker come straight up, player. Hey, player, what kind of books you got up in there, man? And then guess what? One day I went to the hole for possession of weapon stock. Shit, the homie sent the care package from the yard and it came the same way. Hey, open the tray slot. Boom. Cigarettes. Yeah, cigarettes, lighter, kite from the homies. Oh, yes, he looked out. Occupy till I come. So there's hawks in my neighborhood. There's hawks in a lot of neighborhoods, but when you really see what they do up close and personal, like to me, a red-tailed hawk is a fascinating thing to see. I don't know if you like nature, but I do. I love nature, but it's a fascinating thing to see a red-tailed hawk when you're in prison. Because that red-tailed hawk is a predator and he's free. He's free. He's not like these pigeons that keep coming on the yard and they just shit everywhere and walk and just peck, 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 peck. It's not like these seagulls that just go where the food is and follow people and shit on them. Like they're not they're not like that. Red-tailed hawk is way up there, and you can identify him by his tail. Wow. See, you didn't hear that sound. See where I live, there's a lot of nature too. But I think that was most likely a crow. My little homie on Lock in Georgia right now, this fool chatted me and walked me through the whole compound right out the front door. Hey, D-Shep, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I would not believe that. But because of TikTok, prison TikTok, oh my God. Prison has evolved so much just in the time. I ain't been to prison since 2018. And it has evolved so much since then. I've seen people with iced out grills, iced out chains. They got video games, tablets. Look, man, I'm gonna fuck with this, trying to find it while I'm on here. But you did, man. There is people in there that's really living. You wouldn't even look. What the fuck? Yeah. Remember I said I like nature? This is a Burmese python eating a blue heron. Look, mouth full of feathers. But I promise you, like, there's times when I was in the cell, I could say I was living. I was living for prison shit. I was living. But the only thing is, people now, it seems like they just don't give a fuck. They post whatever from the cell, from the yard, from the basketball court, live from the dice game. They ain't tripping. Me, I know, man. I'm not giving them a blueprint roadmap to come straight to me and kick my dough in. Maybe there's probably places that just don't give a fuck. When I hit Vacaville in 2010, and I promise you, coming off orientation, when I came around that corner and seen like 7, 8 homies all sitting down, they not in the phone on the phone. They're not in a corner like this. No, they're on the ground, sitting on their ass up against the wall, scrolling and texting and shit. Coming from a level forward, I couldn't get ready for that at all. I couldn't. Shit. And because I wasn't loose like them, I didn't get caught slipping like I watched all of them that had them habits. I watched all of them get banged to where they had to change procedures to try to catch me slipping. They needed all the snitches in the world to catch me. They said they about to offer tablets on the canteen. Why not? Why not? Because if you think about it, inmates in possession of a phone sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. Inmates in possession of a learning device, a tablet, that sounds easy on the ears. A learning device, a tablet, and they already got tablets, so that doesn't seem unnormal. But the truth is, a tablet can do everything a phone do. Promise you, this is the first time I smoked I was about to say smoked in my cell. Smoked in my room. Tripped me out hardly. Any guards. Damn. Ethan Bishop. What's up, Zebby? Happy Thanksgiving to you too. So before this live is over, we're going to talk about Thanksgiving too. We'll talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and things. Debo, where your message go? Okay, so Ethan Bishop, I'm going to say this. And many of the people that have been my subscribers, followers, brothers, family, Dirty Nation lights, well, they have heard me say this many times. After 20 years in prison, I already know the things that you do not debate. You don't want to do that. Except now I'm realizing so much that it's about the person that wants to do the debating. It's like there's a void in you that you kind of want to feel. And the only way you can feel it is by going place to place, person to person, and challenging their beliefs against your beliefs. I say let them have it. So whether you're a Democratic or a Republican, so what? So what? Would you stop messing with me because I'm the opposite of your political party? If you would, then I would say, damn, man, you probably gonna live and die with that, and you're gonna be trapped from going outside of certain things. So Republican, there are Republican, Democrat, non-whatever. Just know this. There are people that are not affected by that any way, shape, or form. There are people that don't give two fucks about politics. I would tell you why, Occupy. I really dislike Democrats. Guess what? Half the people that identify as Democrats, they don't even realize that they probably would be a different party. Half the people that was the Republicans, I would say they probably right where they need to be because they got a mentality of ownership, hunger, entitlement. But I say, man, fuck politics. Fuck politics. Only thing motherfuckers in the hood is gonna really see about politics, the effects of it, is the gas prices. I know them gas prices was high as shit when Obama was in power. Trump got in power. Them gas prices was handling for a while. I think it just might be because I lived in California. California is a Democratic state. Both sides used to respect each other at least. Well, if you think about it, what is at the name of their congressional group? Party. Party. Not designed for them to all come together because it's a party. It's your party, my party. We come together. It's a bigger party. Just think about how many of them people in them assembly rooms, representatives on the House and Senate floor, how many of them you think live in the same hotel or leave there and go to the same bar, same club, same grocery store, same movie theater, same school, kids go to the same schools. These motherfuckers is connected. I'll say, man, I've been part of politics. And once you understand how they work, it's popular opinion and money. Popular opinion and money. And there's so many different politics other than them three that play a direct result of your life right now. Like people like the politic in prison. Them is direct consequences of their results, of their actions. If they do something wrong. Republican, Democrat, they don't never pay. You'll never really see them paying for their wrongs. So then that makes you say, which politics is more important? The ones that directly affect you, or the ones that are playing out on the TV with these people in this faraway place you probably will never go to in your life? Am I saying something wrong? I know I've been out here long enough. I might have been in there 20 years, but I've been out here long enough to make sense of some shit. Thanksgiving was a slaughter. Thanksgiving was a slaughter. That's what I was told. I was told Thanksgiving. I was told that the people lured the Indians to the table and they all had a dinner. And after the dinner was over, they were sitting around with fat bellies and things after eating turkeys and cantaloupes and pumpkin pie. Then they turned around and they killed all the Indians. And we celebrated. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Again, I was told the Europeans got everybody together. We're gonna have celebrate this day. with the Indians. Indians cooked, tribal dancing, Europeans ate. It was a good festival. But after that, they killed all the natives. But how were they natives and they were there first? Somebody tell me something. How are the Indians natives and they was here first? Anybody got any answers? I felt convicted about this holiday for many years. Many years I felt convicted about Thanksgiving to where I had to change the meaning of Thanksgiving in my mind and say it's not about turkeys and it's not about none of that. It's about fellowship. Before they fucked it up, they was fellowshipping. That's what Thanksgiving is to me. Fellowship. And you're not just necessarily you're not sharing necessarily just only sharing food, you're sharing your time. You're sharing your time and you're fellowshipping. But when it gets to where it's about turkeys and singing songs and gatherings, that's what I call bullshit. The kids need to know the truth. I still remember Thanksgiving songs from elementary school. Ooh, the pilgrims and the Indians sat down together and butter and wine. Sat down and ate together and something, something, something. That song should have been changed. See, we kids, we didn't know that. We was just following the lyrics on the thing. That song should have said, the pilgrims and the Indians sat down with a backdoor plan in mind, sat down and killed the Indians, and then we drank wine. Something that should have been the truth, though. They was telling us bullshit in elementary school. I've never heard a Thanksgiving song. Man, Thanksgiving songs and Christmas songs went hand in hand where I'm from. Christmas carols and Thanksgiving songs. And then I learned about Santa Claus, but I'm not here to be the Grinch though. I did have a favorite Christmas song though, called "Must Be Santa, Must Be Santa, Santa Claus." Who's that man with the big fat nose? Who's that man going ho ho ho? Cherry nose, stubby toes. Must be Santa. That's my favorite Christmas carol. I thought my music teacher was so wrong. I thought she made all the songs up that she taught us. Like I thought she made them up. I found out otherwise when I went to the next school. Let me answer the question. The natives helped English survive in Massachusetts last time I checked. So they had a celebration as the Indian English likely would have died in recent winter without them. I would say that no, because I can't say they're two separate things. But I know that a government that was capable of, when they tried to catch Geronimo and they gave that last tribe smallpox infected wool smallpox infected wool blankets for a government that was capable of that, then they're capable of a Thanksgiving Day massacre too. I'm gonna tell you something though. I'm gonna give y'all some history lessons. I say, call me Osceola because my soul ain't never been captured. I break away like Kunta Kinte, run through the raptures. The Osceola Indians. That is the only tribe of Indians that was never captured by the U.S. government. Oh, dirty on some education today. The Osceola Indians. The government was trying to track the Osceola Indians, and every time they thought that they was catching them, they would go into the swamps. The Osceola Indians had the Apaches was the ones that got the wool blankets, but the Osceola Indians in Florida, every time the government would get close, they would retreat into the swamps that they had adapted to. And every time the soldiers would try to follow these Osceola Indians, they would all get sick, get malaria, and catch all type of diseases and die because they hadn't adapted. So the Osceola Indians is the only tribe of Indians where they had to just say, fuck it. Fuck it. We ain't going to be able to catch them. It's over. It's over. And we thought because they was a small tribe, like we thought we could just run them down. Nah. They know some things. Many of the original settlers weren't the government. Many left due to problems with the church. Of course, they weren't the government. And you're right. Them people that broke away from the church and the monarchy, them is the people that became the threat. Because them the people that broke off and formed like things like the Illuminati and things like that, because they wanted to think outside of the church. Actually, they thought use the church in combination with our global thinking. So that's how the church became a tool. And I need to stop talking. I'm saying too much. See, this dude Ethan, he know how to bring out things inside of me that I can't bottle. The first Spanish missionaries to come here documented the first people they encountered and described people that looked just like us. But still, I would say still Indians could have looked like us. I mean, Indians could have looked like black people to them too. It depends on the first people they encountered. But it's no mystery that there were dark-skinned people here. And it's no mystery that the Indians enslaved black people too. The black people black people was owning slaves in the United States back in the days. But see that we ain't gonna speak on that. But the Indians for sure had black slaves. I think it was the King Henry VIII. Could be wrong on the number, but let's see. The first Angela, because of separation from the Catholic Church and formed the Anglican Church. And I bet and I believe that. The Seminoles, I believe that. You know why? Because the same thing that they used to try to catch them Indian tribes, the Europeans, they tried that shit in Africa. And why do you think that they employed other Africans to catch other Africans? They caught them because they every time they tried to venture hella far inland, they was getting sick. All the Europeans that was going to catch slaves in Africa, they was getting sick. They was like, fuck that. Like, we come in with 100, and we coming back to our ships with only like 40 of our crew. We losing them in the masses. So instead, what they did is they offered certain tribes, the Songher tribes, they offered them gold and stuff like that and guns, and they used them guns to capture other blacks. And that's how you see it. You see like in The Woman King, if you watch that. But then if you see that, then you know blacks was doing that. But the reason blacks was enslaving blacks is because the Europeans couldn't go into the forest and into these tribes because they was getting sick with these smallpoxes and these diseases that the blacks had immunities to. So the blacks and the Osceola Indians and like you said, the Seminoles, like they had immunities already to these things that they couldn't fight off. Can I get a witness? Like I said, man, I've been convicted about this holiday for many, many years. Like normally, like to people that really know, I'll be texting, I'll be like, Happy Massacre Day. And I promise you, I'm deleting this live after. Clara Bent said, I'm British, so I can't say much about my country. You know what? I'm not British, so I can't say much about your country. I mean, I can't, like, if you ask us, you could ask us meaning Americans, certain questions about your country, and we would be utterly clueless. If you asked us to speak on some British history and the interaction with the Americas, all we gonna know is Boston Tea Party and redcoats. That's all we really gonna know. We're not gonna, like I'm telling you, this generation right here stopped reading books. They stopped reading books a long time ago because they realized there was lies in them books that they gave to us. Can I get a witness? It was lies probably in the British history too. And they probably, y'all probably been had awakening and been able to decipher what's true from what's not. See, in America, they taught the kids bullshit. Like the stuff they taught my generation, they pick and chose what they wanted to tell, what they wanted us to learn. Growing up in elementary school, they pick and chose what they wanted us to learn. The only people that they seemed like they wanted us to learn were people that were so great that they couldn't get around them in the history books. That's the people. So you couldn't get around. And then the fucked up part is you couldn't get around these great people that they taught us about in elementary school. So they did, so then they chose what they wanted us to know about these great people. So by the time you get to junior high and high school, you playing catch up because that's when they hit you with all other type of history that ain't got nothing to do with you. Man, I promise you, the only reason I learned some of the stuff that I learned is because I got locked up and was forced to sit down and read. That's the only reason. If not, I would say I might be a person without knowledge of itself. And that's the overall theme that I've been feeling. Knowledge itself, know who you are right now at this stage in your life. Like, know who you are. Be able to say, no, I don't feel that. Be able to say, this is what I want or this is what I like and not feel no kind of way about it. That's if you look around, I promise you, you're gonna see that theme. Everybody and all the advice people are giving, it's playing out to where 2023 is gonna be one hell of a ultimate free thinking year. Old shit is old shit. You have to get rid of the old shit to make new room for the new shit. And starts with truth. Well, starts with truth in a day and age when we got Google. Google where Thanksgiving came from, and you're gonna come to a story that they give you, and then you're gonna come to a story that there's truth because you got to go past the story that they give you. Hold on, I gotta get my. All right, we on. Damn, I should even put my headphones on. I might really be able to zone in on some shit. Especially, I know, oh shit, my motherfucking headphones been plugged in the whole time. So y'all been hearing me from a distance. And I still got some blunt. Heather, what is Thanksgiving to you? CB. Big Bad, what is Thanksgiving to you? If watch this, Occupy. If I found a book about Nazi Germany in a neighbor's trash, I would keep it. I would read it. I would want to know some shit. So first off, I don't knock nobody for who they are. If they's a Nazi, they's a Nazi. Shit. Oh well. Can't change it. But the opportunity to look from their point of view, oh yeah, run that. Shit. I want to read it. Shit. This is the oppression that let me stop. Let me stop. We're gonna blame this on the wax. You know when the wax get to the end, you sprinkle it in your blood, that shit is concentrated. That's the concentrated part of the wax. It has dirty enlightened. So, allegedly, where this Thanksgiving massacre took place was in Boston, I believe. Let's ask Google. Where did this original? Because I know CB, you might be the heart of the bullshit. You might be from the heart of where they started that. So let's see. Where was the first Thanksgiving feast?
Plymouth. According to History.com, the holiday dates back to November 1621, when the newly arrived pilgrims and the Wampanoag Indians gathered at Plymouth for an autumn harvest feast, an event regarded as America's first Thanksgiving.
Look, remember how I said the one that they give to you, right? That's the watered down version that they give to you. But if you scroll down, like I said, you gotta go a little bit further. It says what really happened at the Thanksgiving feast in 1621. Matthew. Oh man, I'm gonna just say the first part. It says what really happened at the first Thanksgiving feast in 1621. It said the pilgrims celebrated their first successful harvest by firing guns and cannons in Plymouth, Massachusetts. The noise alarmed the ancestors of the contemporary Wampanoag Nation, and they went to. Oh no, that's something that happened in 2020. So what's really happened first Thanksgiving? That means them tribes is still here. Okay, this is camped outside. A lot of tension. Warriors were next door in the woods. Next close might have shared food depending on strain. Fact finding actually eating was far different. In fact, the Nartegas plentiful concept was the best lobster. English service was good. Other food natives dried out seasons. Other food we took it over. Women so past more father. These this food said shot on level. Okay, there's no proof in it that there was even a massacre. Thanksgiving Massacre. There we go. The real Thanksgiving story. Remember, I said you got to go further and then further. A lot of bloodshed took place both before and after the first feast. So here's what really went down. At least 100 people came to dinner. Group play, marksmanship games, turkey fowl. Festivities lasted 3 days. Solitude walk, overnight guests. Wampanoag leader, and there was a negotiated treaty for about 10 years. But after Masoi passed away, took it over. Tensions began to simmer. Puritans only named Flint. Violating the treaty led to bloodshed. 3 natives were executed after killing. Okay, so basically that was a signifier of trying to get peace, and then it fell out. He said, "No idea how much. Damn, you actually been to the place. But like I said, I knew it was somewhere over there. Ain't y'all like one of the original colonies?" Smoke digging it. So this is actually good because in the 3 things that I've seen, I ain't seen nothing that said that they actually they actually massacred them right after dinner. I didn't find nothing in Google that said that. Maybe I learned something that I wasn't supposed to learn back in the days when it was only books. Or maybe Google knows that that type of truth would sway or change history. So I don't know. Damn, man, they really took them on field trips to that. In high school, we only went to Alcatraz. But I could imagine if I was in a high school in the South, like I could imagine like what the school trips would be. It would be history. The South and the North, it would be history. That's what the field trips was for, history. Plymouth is 30 minutes away. Yeah, that's like going to the other side of town for me. But I gotta know. You say it's a fake holiday. I had my assumptions why I felt it was a fake holiday, but why do you feel that? CB? Because I promise you, I will never do this about Christmas. Because that's about the kids. But Thanksgiving, we too old to be like going for the bullshit. We're too old to be caught up in something, a celebration that says you have to have a turkey. What if I want a honey baked ham instead of a turkey? What if I want steak on Thanksgiving? Shit. Who said I gotta be a turkey? And if it's about fellowship, if Thanksgiving is about fellowship, then best believe it don't matter if it's a turkey. I should be able to have a roast on Thanksgiving. Well, not everybody like turkey. You know what? I think I'm messing up football for some of y'all right now. I think I'm messing up. Who's playing right now? I think I'm messing it up. I gotta be a little bit considerate. A little bit considerate. It's time to fill my belly. It's time to fill my belly. I'm getting hangry. And I promise you, I got it lined up. It's about 2 tater salads in the universe. I can't wait to go eat. And a couple of cheesecakes. Yes. These chefs and the Cowboys ain't on yet. Oh, CB, so I refuse to let the schools lie to my child. That means you got to be damn near fully interactive in like his homework or basically just the history. Just what history did they teach y'all today? And you got to run it through your filter so you can be like, mm-mm. That ain't how it happened. Or if they only teaching our kids a speck of it, then it's on us to fill in the blanks that they left out. Damn, the Patriots play today. It used to be a Cowboy, Green Bay, Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions affair on Thanksgiving. The Bears, the Packers, the Lions, and the Cowboys. And they used to give out. Do they still give out the turducken? Do they still give out the turducken? All right, so I went on a whole ass hour rant. So if you got to hear my rant, consider yourself fortunate because this shit is getting deleted. ASAP Police. Yes. So I'm going to give y'all 5 minutes to download once I end this. All right, man. Y'all have a good one. Dirty. Come.